Purple Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
Write that down.
All
Write
right,
this down.
let's do this.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
The only show in America that's dumb enough to put statistics next to our predictions. It's Write That Down every single Wednesday on both Purple Daily, the Vikings/football edition, and on the OG podcast, the OG edition, going back like 10 years, Mackie and Judd. Judd, how you feeling? Dog days at training camp. We got the first preseason game coming up here in a few days, and then the joint. So we're about to get a jolt with an actual game and joint practices next week.
I'm feeling very good, and here's why. The dog days of training camp aren't what the dog days of training camp used to be. For instance, they practiced what? They were off on Sunday, night practice on Monday, off on Tuesday. Now they will practice Wednesday and Thursday, off Friday. But this is Club Med compared to the old days for Sports Dad. So I'm
there's
feeling
more
good.
cold tubs than ever before. There's more water breaks.
Yeah, which by the way, I'm not complaining about. I don't want it to go back to how it was, but you know what? It's much easier to keep your stamina up from a coverage standpoint. From a player's standpoint, I'm sure it's still tough, but no, I'm feeling good, and I am very much looking forward to next week's joint practices. That's where the fur is going to fly.
Oh,
that's where the rubber meets the road.
Patriots trying to set a new culture too, so they might be a little squirrely coming in next week, so it'll be fun. Before we get to our accountability session and also our predictions, a couple things. A reminder that starting on August 21st, the Minnesota State Fair, the second largest state fair in America, the Great Minnesota Get-Together. And so we've done like a Saturday show here and there over the years, but this will be the first time in like 6 years that we will take daily shows out to the Minnesota State Fair. So Thursday and Friday, August 21st and 22nd, and then the Monday through Friday, the full week, from noon to 3, Score North Podcast at the Score North Podcast stage, which we'll have a website with more information coming soon here. And Purple Daily specifically will be live at 1 o'clock Central Time every single day from the Minnesota State Fair. So we're super pumped, looking forward. If you can make plans to come in from out of town and you've never been to the State Fair before, come on in. If you're living local, block off some time between noon and 3 on those weekdays. We will be at the Minnesota State Fair in a couple weeks, and we're very excited.
With some seating, too, correct?
There'll be some seating. Yeah, it's the first time that we've actually had.
I was just going to say, if you've been out there and you've been like, well, I tried to come watch you guys back in the day, and I had to stand up. We're going to have some seating.
Thanks to both of you that came out to watch us back in the day, too, on AM radio. We appreciate that. North American Banking Company is powering these Write That Down predictions. 6 locations across the Twin Cities. It's a Minnesota-based banking company since 1998. And they specialize in just having friendly, knowledgeable people that you can build a relationship with, like actually knowing the people that handle your money and finances, and the safety and security of your accounts through their cutting-edge online tools. So if you're looking for a different and better and maybe even more local banking experience, North American Banking Company can help you out. You can go to nabankco.com/Mackie to learn more. That's nabankco.com/Mackie. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Write this down.
Are you guys ready to be held accountable?
Let's do it. It's probably not much right now, right? It's still
I got burned on something.
Okay. I might have missed that one. We'll get there in a second. Here's how it works. 3 Vikings or football-related predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of completion percentages and touchdowns. And listeners, if you want to participate like our guy Elijah in his podcast van is about to, you can send Declan a message through the Score North app. So, yeah, in the absence of things coming off the board, kind of a slow time of year, we'll highlight some things still on the board. Like Judd said, the Vikings will pick up a former first or second round pick between now and week 1. They grabbed a third round pick, that 34-year-old tight end guy who's played on 8 different teams. Mm-hmm. We'll see if they wind up fulfilling this.
I feel pretty good about this still. I feel pretty good about this. I feel like there's positions to add at, for instance, after yesterday, wide receiver. So
quarterback.
Yeah, I feel like I've got a chance here.
You're sitting okay. Kenny Pickett via trade. would fulfill this.
Is he still hurt?
Yeah, but he'll be fine at some point. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean,
He'll be fine at some point.
Yeah, you're probably screwed if you have Kenny
Will he
Pickett.
really be fine?
I said J.J. McCarthy. This is a really bad beat. We already talked about it last week, but I said J.J. McCarthy would lead a scoring drive in his next 2-minute practice drill. So then we had to set like parameters because you had warned me they don't always kick the field goal, so you might get the ball down deep red area and then they just stop the drill without kicking.
Right.
And I said, all right, well, let's put a guardrail on that the drive must end inside the 20-yard line. And I'd love to see the instant replay of that last play because I'm pretty sure the receiver went out of bounds I think was it Jordan Mason? It was a draw play or something. Maybe that's what.
The spot was not friendly.
It was a bad spot. They spotted the ball at the 21-yard line. It's a first down. There was still some time on the clock.
Yeah.
But they didn't have the special teams guys active that day. So they stopped it at the 21-yard line.
Yeah.
And then gave it over to the second team offense.
Yep. So you got screwed by the spot.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I should have said inside the.
Well, you didn't listen to me
or something. I know.
I tried to help you. I rarely try to help you in this game, but I tried.
Listeners, nothing came off the board, but Merrick said 2024 will be C.J. Ham's last season as a Viking.
That's coming
and you can't get rid of C.J. Ham, man. Look, he's going to make the team.
Yeah, you tried to get him cut for like 3 years, Phil, and now you are on board with, he's definitely going to make the team. So,
yeah, I mean, he's a leader. He fulfills some things that they need. He's a veteran.
Correct.
Wasn't sure I saw the vision a couple years ago, but I get it. And then I don't know, Declan, you tell me if I missed something. The one I highlighted that was still on the board was that you said J.J. McCarthy would have at least 3,000 passing yards by week 12. And with a bye week baked in there, that would mean he'd have to average just under 300 yards per game through the first 11 games of the season. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What did I miss?
I said Jordan Addison's suspension would be exactly 2 games.
That's right, you did. I like the self-reporting.
Noble self-reporting there.
I
mean, it would have come up at some point, but it's noble of Declan to self-report. Let's see here. When did you make that? There we go. A few weeks ago. Jordan Addison suspended exactly 2 games.
Oh, and Jonathan Grenard came off the board with the top 100.
Oh, so they've advanced. Okay, Jonathan Grenard will be the next player ranked in the NFL top 100.
So I did hedge. I did.
So that was correct.
That was correct. Yep, he was 48.
They're like, why are they so slowly just unveil the list?
Yeah, it's very annoying.
They used to end it. I remember a few years ago. It ended on like July 4th.
Like, what do you just? It's like a player a day that they're unveiling on this list.
I think number 1's released either like on Thursday Night Football or something leading into that, like the week 1.
I don't care at this point.
Week 13, we finally get to the
15,
end of it.
Yeah,
they've lost me.
This.
I just don't care at this point. It's too slow. It's boring. It's it's not credible enough to not like. You got to throw this out there in a timely fashion, or you lose me.
Just put your list out. Yeah. So, all right, so I'm at 54.1% completions here. Judd at 45.5%. Declan's actually at 35.3%, according to the spreadsheet here.
Don't ask Declan. Don't try to do math now.
And then listeners at 31.3.
I'm not trying to do math.
Let
Phil cook.
Career rates here, Declan 30. It's going to be like let's see here, 36.7 still. Judd's at 35%. I'm at 34.9. Listeners at 24.3. And then you see the touchdowns on YouTube there. I got 61, but it's a tight race with the listeners at 60. Mm-hmm. So okay, there we go. We cleared everything up. Can't always be perfect with this gigantic unorganized spreadsheet. Let's get Elijah in here. With his professional podcasting van. And by the way, nice shirt you're wearing there. Thanks for supporting.
Oh yeah, come on, guys.
The JJ to JJ. So you've been on before on Ventline, and you've made an appearance. I write that down. Give us the story about your your beautiful podcasting van here.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Happy to be on again. Any morning I get to start my day talking football is a good day, so happy to be here. So the podcast section of this van is actually half. The back half on the other side is a stage that flips down and turns into a DJ booth.
Wow.
But this is one of 4 vans for a fleet. We're basing it around mental health, and we're doing it for boys and girls clubs, starting here in Carson, Tahoe area, hoping to move maybe down to Vegas, and who knows, maybe we'll even make it to Minnesota. We'll be there in 10 days. We'll be at your state fair events. We'll be at joint practice with the Patriots,
Let's do it.
preseason game. So we'll be all around. But yeah, this is our this is one of 4, and I'm lucky to be able to use this.
May I suggest, and there's a chance I brought this up during your last appearance, so forgive me if I did. May I suggest that we have a real quandary of the hair battle this morning?
I just got my
Declan's
haircut.
hair, Elijah. I
Yesterday,
mean, we're looking at 2. I mean, that's pretty good. Who wins the hair battle? Phil?
I mean, they're different styles, man.
They
I
are
feel like
different styles.
Declan's got a little more pomp and kind of poof up top, and Elijah's got kind of the slightly off-centered middle part going on there.
Nice volume.
Good volume on both.
That's only today. I woke up lucky. It's funny you brought up hair, Judd, because I think about a year ago there was an episode you had said if Kirk Cousins got a mullet, I would actually like him. And I tweeted a photo to you and I said, hold my beer because I got a shirt for you. And it was Kirk Cousins combined with Joe Dirt. And it was Kirk with a mullet. And I tweeted it at you. And I think I got a little response there. But
Oh, I'm sure you did. That's exactly right.
Like a mullet and a casual F-bomb once in a while would have gone a long way for, I think, Kirk's persona around here.
A cigarette, a can of beer, a mullet, and an F-bomb.
Sleeveless shirts,
Yep.
maybe a cliche barbed wire bicep tattoo.
I love it.
Yeah,
the
they
schedule-
probably would have signed into an extension if all those things were in place.
the schedule to get a mullet at Supercuts was it took a little too long for Kirk. So he just
Great
went
clips.
with the clean
Great clips. Put some respect on great
Yeah,
clips.
come on,
yeah.
Elijah. You know we're talking about great
Sorry,
clips.
man.
So Elijah is rocking it in the podcast van here. He's going to start with his first prediction, and then over to Judd, Dex. I'll round it out. We'll make 3 trips around the room. So Elijah, the floor is yours, man.
Write this down.
Thank you, Phil. So my first prediction here, maybe a snipe, but you've been talking about it this week, and I've been thinking about it the past few weeks. So write this down. There will be a report from a credible source that the Vikings are interested in acquiring Adam Thielen before the trade deadline of this season. Write it down.
There it is.
Yep, little snipage. I think
There it
it's
is.
possible that that's already. I think I have one from a long time ago that he will. Yeah, I have him catching another touchdown pass with the Vikings before he retires, going back a couple years. But it makes some sense. And I've seen some people, because we talked about it yesterday, people saying, well, what incentive would the Panthers have to move off of him? Well, if you can get draft pick compensation for an aging player on an expiring contract in the NFL, and he's like, it's not like Thielen's like he's been exactly what they need with a young quarterback for a couple years, but I don't think they view him as like especially if they were on the verge of contending or something, but they're still in asset collection mode in Carolina. So I do think, just my own speculation and just kicking the tires, talking to some people behind the scenes, that there is a possibility that this could happen.
So he is if they did trade for him, what is it? A conditional 6th? A conditional? It's got to be a conditional pick, because you've got to say there's got to be a parameter of he catches X amount of passes or something like that.
Yeah.
Because there's a chance he's just old and gets here and does not do a thing, which I don't think would be the case. But anyway, yeah, I think it'd be like a conditional 5th or 6th round pick.
Yeah, I think it'd be like a 6th round pick for sure. And then if he catches 50 passes or more, then maybe it converts to like a 5th or
5th round
Write
pick.
this down.
something.
Fair enough.
Judd?
All right, football is here. So, gentlemen, that means we have predictions that can come off the board starting on Saturday with a game against the hated Houston Texans at US Bank Stadium. And let me be the first to capitalize on that. Lucky Jackson, my guy, will lead the Vikings in receptions on Saturday. So I think McCarthy's going to play a series. He's definitely going to play. I think he's going to play a series, but Lucky's looked great with McCarthy. He's getting first team reps. He's definitely going to play, I think, probably fairly deep into the game. So I think he ends up being, of a long list of receivers the Vikings have, he ends up being the leading receiver on Saturday.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna get some touches for sure.
Write that down.
For sure. Dex?
I almost made that. I had that in the can, but I had something else that I want to write down for Saturday. So write this down. Will Reichard won't miss a kick on Saturday. Won't miss a kick. No extra points, no field goals. He won't miss any of those kicks. He'll get a chance to go out there and prove he can kick. It's inside. He's in his domain. He'll be fine. No missed kicks for Will Reichard. Write it down.
Nobody stands for Vikings kickers like our guy Declan.
And then bails angrily when they let him down.
Oh, it's all based in hate and rage.
Yep.
It's not based in love.
I still want to ban them. I still want them banned. I don't want them in the game. It's the silliest thing of all time. But
you have an incredibly dysfunctional relationship, understandably so, because of the abuse that you've endured with kickers.
Yep.
Write it down,
It's just
you
like
like
if I didn't
writing
get married to my lovely wife, like I probably just done a domestic partnership with a friend, like at that point, you know. So just ban kickers, ban them.
Write that down.
Write this down. JJ McCarthy will complete his first 3 pass attempts in this preseason game.
I like this.
If they're gonna, it'll be an easier going against a defense that's not as good as the defense you're facing in practice. It's a good defense, but not Vikings level. And they're not going to be. They'll try a few things, but they're not going to show anything.
You're not
in the
going to
first
get any
preseason
looks.
game. So
You're not going to get any looks. D'Amico ain't breaking out looks on Saturday.
yeah. So it's like swinging a bat weight for 2 weeks in practice, and then it just everything slows down. And I think they're going to try and just get him into a nice little rhythm. So he will complete his first 3 pass attempts, maybe more. Write that down.
Write that down.
All right, back to Elijah.
Judd, would tracking opposing quarterbacks during joint practice be too much out of your realm?
It's impossible.
Okay.
Because they're doing things at the same time on different fields.
Okay.
So like the Vikings one defense will probably be going against the Patriots one, while McCarthy is going against the Patriots one. So it's not possible. And I am, of course, all in on fulfilling the Purple Daily Family's request that anything that JJ McCarthy throws ends up on my notepad. So sorry.
All good, no worries. I'll pull an audible here. This is one I came up with sort of on my drive here. Write this down. The Vikings Commanders game will be a finalist for Game of the Year at the NFL Honors this season.
Wow.
Oh wow. Oh
yeah.
What do they? How many finalists do they like? Is it like 3 or 4 finalists? 5, something like that.
I think so. I think it's around that range. But Jane Daniels, JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
So are you thinking like a big time shootout and some late game drama, all the different conditions? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
To Elijah's question about charting the joint practice here, I just wanted, because we're going to do our bonus Purple Daily episode today. It'll be our first of the Jeremiah Cyril's O-line committee crossover episodes. He's going to join us at least on a monthly basis. And I just have a 30-second clip here to preview what Judd can expect on the bonus episode.
I don't know if you do this. I don't know if anyone at Purple Daily does this, so please take no offense. If you chart training camp, I hate you. Like I hate you.
Kevin O'Connell.
You do.
Judd charts the passes.
I hate you.
Hold on. Kevin O'Connell has confronted Judd in a friendly way 3 times, and Judd has said, "I hear your arguments. I still would like to know that J.J. McCarthy is 41 of 51 in the full team drills."
Dude, I can't stand that because it's exactly
Jeremiah is going to be on.
It's
Purple
exactly.
Daily next week,
I'm going to fight Judd for this.
Oh man,
can't wait for this. So he hates me automatically.
Oh, it's going to be a bloodbath today. I'm wondering how much you're going to fight back, or if you'll just.
Is it going to be a bloodbath? Because I've got a few
maybe it'll be the other way. Maybe you'll counter punch back.
There is let me just preview it by saying this. There is a response on certain things, including this, that I give to people where I'm told, well, we can't do that. And I say, well, then I need to do what I'm going to do. So that's where it's going to go.
Oh,
Let's go.
The proprietary. I was like, well, you can't have it both ways. Remember, the key to life is this. In many, many situations, there is always a retort that then you're told, well, you're not going to get that. And then you say, if I'm not going to get that, then you're going to get what you don't want.
But that's the key to life?
Is that the key to life?
One of the keys to life is turning
keys,
situations. Okay. One of the keys to life is turning situations on people that are very sure that they're right. And then making them think about it.
Is this like reframing, or is it
we'll get
arguing
to it. We'll get to
logically and beating them in an argument? Or
we'll get to it on the show. I'm previewing it. I'm not gonna give away my case right now.
How many? So that's one of the keys to life. How many keys to life would you say exist in the Zolgad?
There's many to survive.
Culture?
There's many to surviving the street. There's many. I don't even know but it's why being, and this has nothing to do with Searles at all, but it's one of the reasons why being book smart only takes you so far, and being an academic is awesome and that's great, but doesn't necessarily give you common sense.
So street smarts over book smarts.
Well, there's just certain
charting
fights.
Training camp passes.
Well, here's what I would say about this, because there's certain professions where what I just said would not apply. If you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, those are outside my realm, and they take great smarts. But in sports take a level of having to get down in the muck and roll around to make your point. And that's how I'll tease it.
I love this. I can't wait for this episode. It's gonna be...
Write this down.
Judd, what is your second prediction?
My second prediction is this. Nudie, our guy Dwight McCarthy, will have at least one interception for the Vikings in the preseason. So I'm not going to say it's Saturday. I don't know. But 3 games, and I have seen enough. Now, it's interesting because if you look at what they're doing second team-wise, like on Monday, I'm pretty sure it's hard to chart the quarterbacks and the defensive second team at the same time, but I'm pretty sure that McCarthy was in on the nickel with Mekhi Blackman and Zemiah Vaughn. Zemiah Vaughn, don't sleep on this kid. He's another.
I can tell
UDFA.
you based on my predictions on the list here, I will not be.
No, and you have not. But my point is, he's also emerged. But McLaughlin's sort of a ball hawk, and so I'm going to give him 1 interception in the 3 games.
Love this. Let's go.
Write this down.
All right, Dex.
All right, write this down from our conversation about Crazy Legs McCarthy yesterday. J.J. McCarthy will rush for at least 24 first downs in 2025. That's one more than Sam Darnold. So he'll rush for even more first downs than Sam Darnold did last year. He'll rush for at least 24 in 2025.
Okay. Write this down.
Write this down.
I'm trying to put together like a little 3-item preseason over the 3 preseason games. And usually 3-item parlays are touchdowns, but you guys tell me because I do get 3 preseason games for these things to happen. So I will say Zemiah Vaughn INT at some point in the preseason. Gabriel Murphy sack at some point in the 3 preseason games. And Sam Howell takes at least 2 sacks. That's probably the easiest one because he has a super high sack rate and will play a lot. Gabriel Murphy, probably the second easiest one there, tallying a sack in 3 games. And then, I mean, like an INT in 3 games is fairly hard to tally. So
absolutely,
all 3 of those things would have to happen throughout the 3 preseason games for this to come off the board.
Okay. One of my favorite Purple Daily things I think of all time that has taken place in the last 6 weeks is the mutual just disdain for watching Sam Howell play quarterback between both of you, especially.
Well, it felt like I was coming out of the
mostly Judd.
Well, coming out of the off-season camps when I had seen it, it felt like I was piling on unnecessarily. And then Phil came out for a couple of practices, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I sort of see that too."
And then Thor came out for the night practice and kind of had the same opinion.
Yeah, and I've had other unnamed colleagues say you were right about this because I think coming out of
Colin,
the
Cowherd.
OTA,
okay.
Yeah, that's
you got a source. Okay,
that's good. No,
Your source keeps coming back to you, telling the same thing.
I'm just being agreed with. Colin is insinuating that there's some like mysterious thing wrong with McCarthy.
It is.
and he won't just say, okay, he can't throw the ball. Like just say what you mean.
But that's not it. But that's not it.
I know.
Because you can see with your eyes that like he clearly has a howitzer for an arm.
He keeps saying, he said it twice in the last month now, including the clip that Declan sent us yesterday. Cowherd's like, I've got a source who's telling me things about McCarthy that I can't tell you. And it's like, is something wring with him? It's very mysterious.
It's bizarre.
It feels almost personal.
It is oddly. I think, in general, to take such a hardline stance on a quarterback who has not played a game yet in the regular season. I mean, it's one thing to be kind of skeptical of. Boy, it feels like Anthony Richardson only completed 51% of his passes in college. Not sure if and then you watch him, he's not accurate in preseason or training camp. And you can kind of deduce like, boy, it's going to be tough for Anthony Richardson to be efficient enough with a 48% completion percentage. And that's kind of fact-based. But the first part of the Cowherd thing was, well, JJ doesn't have an arm. Well, that's false. I mean, just like we've watched 25 years of, youth, 25 years of training camp practice, me 20, he's got an arm. So what is it about him that Cowherd is hearing and continuing to perpetuate? It's almost like, dude, just say it. What is it?
Saying, yeah. Right. Like what's wrong? It almost feels like he's going beyond his on-field performance now.
He 100% is.
And it's like, so are you being
told is it like depression related? I mean, what is it? Because he's dealt with that in the past.
Right. But like it makes it more, to me, it makes it way more inflammatory to phrase it up as I'm hearing something about McCarthy and it's troubling or something like that. It's
Also, if it's one source, it could be a number of different people. But like one person's opinion probably shouldn't sway 100% of your on-air commentary. I mean, in Cowherd, the thing is like people kind of clown on him. Really smart guy who takes a lot of heat in cases where he's actually correct down the line. But he's also been really wrong about some quarterbacks in the past.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting. There's the hardline nature of the stance. Yeah. But he's got the Bears making the playoffs. But if you objectively watch Caleb Williams as a player and as an immature human the last 2 years, I like Caleb Williams is bordering on one of the biggest busts of all time if he doesn't pick up this offense in 2025.
It sounds like, too, our friend Courtney Cronin, I mean, she's been detailing. It's a little messy, a little sloppy right now in early parts of training camp for the Bears.
And it's partially because Ben Johnson has gone, and this is where you had to wait. He's gone in there to kick ass, and Caleb's not.
Dude, he was crying in the arms of his parents after a college game.
JJ McCarthy, no matter what you think of him, is a lot mentally tougher than Caleb is, okay? So, like that's the thing is, well, Ben Johnson's going to be like O'Connell, and he's just going to go in there, and it's like not all quarterback whispers are the same. And don't forget, O'Connell's very particular for a reason. O'Connell knows who can take him and who can't, and that I think just includes his personality. And but the whole thing's bizarre. And I wish Cowherd would just tell us what he supposedly knows is wrong with McCarthy, or just stop with it, because it just seems very, very personal and it's very weird.
One last thought on this, and we can maybe come back to this. I think this would be a good Thursday conversation, quite frankly, tomorrow. But it's not his arm strength, because we've seen it. You could say, well, he's not really picking up. Maybe he's a little slow to process. I don't know that that's the case either. I think he's going up against a really good defense, and we will eventually the processing will come out. I don't know if you can have a definitive opinion on processing yet until you really start playing regular season games when you're scouting all week. So it has to be something personality related. And I feel like he's an interesting personality for sure. Very interesting personality. But I think all the commentary we've heard on the record, off the record, from teammates and players and coaches so far is like mostly positive. So it's, I don't know, man. I don't know. Elijah, what's your third and final prediction?
Write this down.
JJ McCarthy will be a bust, and Colin is correct.
Well, unlike Colin, I will put my predictions on the line. So here we go. This next prediction is a little bigger than just a regular prediction. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, if you will, about the show. So write this down. By July 7th of next year, so 7/7/26, Purple Daily will have or surpass 77,000 subscribers.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow. That would be, we'd have to pick up the pace a little. This is a touchdown if it happens. It'd be great to get there.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we need to be a little more clickbaity with our headlines to get there. Our chief clickbait officer, Declan, can go to work on a game plan.
I hear something is wrong with several Vikings. That's what my sources tell me. I am not going to go into detail, or maybe I will.
Love it, man.
It's going to be a big year. I think the Vikings are going to have a great year this year. I'm super excited. So I think the Vikings will do all the heavy work for you guys and get a new pool of audience in here. I'm grassrooting this operation. So I've been moving from state to state the past few years. So any Vikings fan I see, I'm like, hey, if you listen to Purple Daily, you got to go subscribe there. Packers fan, hey, you want to learn about J.J. McCarthy? Subscribe to Purple Daily. You know, anybody I can, any football fan I know. So
You're awesome.
Dude, thank you, Elijah. Hey, since you've got this life-altering platform again here on Purple Daily, shout out anyone you want, and also tell our audience where can they find more content from the podcast van that you are sitting in right now.
Absolutely, yeah. So first, I would like to I'll shout out my kids from this summer, man. If any of you are watching, what's up? How you doing? It's the cameraman here. A shout out to my pops, who's the second biggest Vikings fan I know next to me, and also to you guys for giving us this platform every day. I think I can't find a better daily podcast for any team out there, so I stamp heavily on this podcast. And if you want to find out more about our vans, you can just look me up on social media. It's at Elijah Torok. We'll be setting up a lot of future podcasts for this space, for the hospital and that I'm working for, and the Boys and Girls Club. So you can just follow my personals, and I'll link you guys directly to where you got to go to listen to more podcasts around here.
Love it, man. Elijah. Awesome. And that's Torok for the spelling there, right? Cool. Awesome, man. Elijah, hopefully we can do it again sometime. Keep us posted on your van excursions, man.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much.
Right.
Thank you.
Elijah coming in with some great predictions. Before we make the rest of our predictions here, MSP Plumbing, a source tells me that I'm not going to tell you why or who or what, but MSP Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, pretty good at what they do. Judd, that's what they're telling me.
Your source, of course. Let's reveal your source. It's Sports Dad, who's had them come out to his house twice, and they've done fantastic work. And you know what? I'm looking at the temperatures, and guess what? The heat is on its way back because we are still in the throes of summer, and that means that if last time around your AC was not working, or let's just say it was not at peak efficiency, now is the time to make sure that it is. MSP has an AC tune-up for only $49. They do repairs, installs, great service, and I can tell you that. And also ask about their Total Comfort Club membership and know that your system will be taken care of all year long. Plumbing, heating, and air. They do a fantastic job. 651-615-4292. Call MSP.com. Call MSP.com. Make sure your home is as comfortable as it should be.
Federated Insurance is here to help small and medium-sized businesses, a.k.a. the backbone of America. So business owners out there, whether you're in Minnesota or in any of the other 49 states, you understand the importance of protecting your company's reputation, your workplace, your employees, your financial assets, and having a customized plan with a great insurance company like Federated can help you cover all those things. And so think about industries, if you run a business in industries like retailers, wholesalers, so grocery stores, clothing retailers, furniture, lawn and garden, manufacturing companies, dealerships, contractors, woodworking, cabinetry companies. There's a full list of industries that Federated specializes in at federatedinsurance.com, where it's our business to protect yours. And Renaissance Festival is back in 10 days. So Renaissance Festival, weekends 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., August 16th through September 28th, including Labor Day as well, where you can throw axes, wield swords, things that the sports dad just does in his spare time.
Yep.
I call that the backyard.
Yeah, juggling chainsaws.
Barney and I go outside. Little Barney and I, we throw axes. We do all of that stuff.
They eat tasty turkey legs both in Judd's backyard and at the Renaissance Festival, Nordic meatballs. There's over 50 games, rides, and attractions for your family. It's a great family event. So if you're looking for something fun, the Minnesota Renaissance Festival, August 16th through the 28th, weekends, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., renaissancefest.com to find out more information. Okay. We're back to Judd, third and final prediction.
All right, third and final prediction. Go back to we finally have games. They might be preseason, but it's better than practice well, and give you this one. Sam Howell, 2 or more interceptions in the preseason. Sam Howell,
dude.
2 or more picks in the 3
This is almost personal now.
He's gonna play. No, it's not personal. He's gonna play. He's gonna play.
Yes,
it's not personal. He's just not
yes,
the
it is.
guy.
It's been personal for the last month. You have done nothing but take a dump on Sam Howell for the last month.
He doesn't. He's not the guy. This is not personal. This is a professional setting.
A source told Judd. The source is called his eyes.
I don't know Sam Howell from Adam. I don't need to know him. He might be. You know what? His parents. I'm sure they love him.
Great.
I'm sure he's a great guy. But he's not your backup quarterback.
However.
He's not your backup quarterback, so he's going to throw 2 or more picks. I mean, he is predisposed. Let's be honest about this. He is predisposed to interceptions and sacks. Phil brought that up. I am not going to take this. Look, it's personal with some people, okay? It's not personal with Sam Howell.
It is fair to say that his stock was the highest between like his sophomore and junior year at North Carolina or somewhere abouts, right? And there were some mocks that had him flirting with like high first round or not. Maybe some had him like close to number 1 overall pick.
I think in his sophomore year, he was. In fact, Thor told me. I think it was his sophomore year. He was being talked about as the number 1 pick at the time when he came out.
I think the one thing, and again, I'm judging off of just like a handful of practices, which you can glean quite a bit from watching quarterbacks, and he's getting reps with that second team offense. The body language difference and the personality difference between him and J.J. McCarthy is a very stark contrast. You know, McCarthy, even when things are going poorly for the first team offense, is just constant touch points with receivers, tight ends, coaches, bouncing around. He's got the customized handshakes with different players. There's a QBE. There's a quarterback energy that it's not affected by what's happening on the field.
Yeah.
And I guess my amateur, 5 practices watched scouting opinion is Sam Howell's energy is a lot lower. He just operates at just like a little bit more of a...
Brosmer's got more of that.
Yeah.
Definitely has more of that.
Yeah. So, okay, Declan, your final prediction.
All right, write this down. Colin Cowherd will go on a rant about how unimpressed he is with J.J. McCarthy's preseason performance at some point next week.
Yeah, that's probably a bunt because it's so accurate.
He will go on a rant about how he's still unimpressed with his preseason performance.
I did catch a clip yesterday. I think it was during yesterday's show. And he made a point, and this is kind of what Judd does, where you set something up because you think it might fail, and then you rip it on the backside. It's a classic Judd trope.
I learned it from Royce.
Yeah, you kind of puff something up, and then
Patrick loves to do that.
And then it fails,
and rip it apart. Yeah, it's great.
And he made a point to say, because they did a little J.J. McCarthy thing. It was actually you asking O'Connell about the J.J. McCarthy plan, and then they played on the herd O'Connell's answer, and then they kind of talked about it, and Colin said, it's a preseason game, but I am like really looking forward to sitting down and seeing what J.J. McCarthy looks like. I want to see what he looks like against the Texans. I know it's a preseason game, but I'm really excited, and it feels like a Judd trope where I'm excited to watch him stumble, and then I can rip him on the back end.
Yeah.
So, all right, write this down.
Write this down.
Since we're making Colin predictions here, I don't know how we're gonna have some help from listeners, because I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to track every single one of where Colin was right, where Colin was wrong. We say that we're the only show that actually holds each other accountable with statistics, but to his credit, he does a weekly it's kind of an accountability session where it's where Colin was right, where Colin was wrong. There's no statistics being tracked.
Right.
But write this down. At some point during the 2025 NFL season, one of his JJ McCarthy opinions will land in the where Colin was wrong bin.
Okay.
So he will admit at some point where Colin was wrong, JJ McCarthy, and hopefully there's enough listeners that are perusing his podcast where we can keep our eye on that. I think it's a weekly bit. I think it's like a once a week thing. So, because I mean, like, the other thing he was setting JJ up for, by the way, was, hey, Brock Purdy is kind of the bar for it's a great infrastructure with a great quarterback whispering play caller.
Yep.
So Brock Purdy, who was the last pick in the draft, is putting up these numbers. Then if JJ doesn't at least perform at the level of Brock Purdy, then you know he's not that good. Which, you know what? Like, that's somewhat of a fair point, that if you can't perform at a pretty high level with great infrastructure, then maybe. But then the problem with Purdy is, okay, you hit those numbers, and instead of getting the credit for hitting those numbers, and we're guilty of this too, people are like, well, I mean, come on. He's got Jefferson, Addison, Kevin O'Connell. He's got two great running backs and a defense, and you wind up giving credit to all the other things around. So it does feel like a setup of JJ McCarthy, even if he does perform well.
He's definitely trying. He definitely wants to. And the only question I have is, are his sources? I don't think he has Viking sources. So are his sources in the National Football League or Michigan sources?
Well, that would be the concerning thing, is like if it's someone inside the building that's saying, boy, based on what we see internally, there's a little conflict of what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
But if it's like Greg Cosell, who breaks down a bunch of film for that show, okay, well, that's one
He's got some Michigan
outsider
sources, right? I feel like Cowherd's had some stuff from Michigan before.
I honestly think a good chunk of this is not a surprise or a hot take. It's because they moved on from Darnold, who went to USC. Like, I don't think if this was opposite, if this was, let's say Daniel Jones was the quarterback for all of last season, and maybe he had a similar year to Darnold, but maybe not as effective, and they turned it over to J.J. McCarthy, I highly doubt Colin is this against J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, he's been a huge Sam Darnold proponent since Darnold was drafted, and it took like 5 years to come to fruition.
Yeah.
And, rightfully so. He took a Darnold victory lap along with all the Vikings fans last year, saying, hey, this was always in there. You just needed a real coach to bring it out in a non-Jets organization.
Yep.
And then you bring it out, and the Vikings are like, I think we're good.
That's probably a good call. I could totally see that, where he's a big Trojans fan, and so now he's like, yeah, this guy. But it's still sort of weirdly personal to me. That's the only thing I don't get. I think we've lost Phil, Declan.
Oh, we did.
At first, I thought he was smirking.
Me too. I thought he was.
I'm like, typical Phil smirk. Which, I mean, I am guilty of smirking myself a lot, but I think we lost Phil.
That's okay. Here's what we'll do, because we're at the end of Purple Daily. Write that down regardless. Jeremiah Searles joining us for a bonus episode here also on this feed, so be on the lookout for that, plus the OG edition, too, of Write That Down. This is Purple Daily, where we just want to see the Vikings win a Super Bowl before we die.